And we're back. Welcome back to the Retirement Decoded podcast. I'm your host, Scott Tucker, and Associate Advisor
Max Rin
joins us today on the podcast. So on today's podcast, Max, Kevin asks, Max, is it risky to retire in a year when the stock market's at all-time highs?
That's a great question, Kevin. I wouldn't say risky per se, but you definitely have to take that into account. And if let's say you're needing a certain amount to retire, so your portfolio doesn't run out of money, if you're kind of basing those calculations on that all-time high value number, then that could be a little problematic later down the road. So
Max, we have a lot of times where folks get greedy as they get closer to retirement.
Yep. Or when the market goes up in general.
Yeah, I would say a good rule of thumb, we like to see people when they're 50, maybe. We like to see people 10 years before retirement or more. There was a market crash in 2007, and it took till roughly about 2013 to recover.
Yep.
If you retired right at 2017, you went through a crash, and then you had to draw money and sell at the bottom.
Yep.
Just to pay your bills, and then hope the market comes back and wait for that. The people who did that were very, very unhappy.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's timing and luck, but if you don't have a good plan in place for that kind of stuff, then it could put you in a really bad spot, like you said.
Yeah, so when Kevin, I wonder what Kevin's thinking, because Kevin didn't tell us any more than that. Is it riskier to retire in the market's at all-time highs? When the market is high, we're always worried about, it's our job to worry, right, Max?
Yeah.
I don't want to
make that our job.
Yeah, I don't want to scare anybody, but it is, we do have to consider what happened back in 2007 when the market lost more than half its value and took years to come back. And there really were some people, talk about unhappy, there were some people that were literally downtown Chicago jumping out of buildings.
Yeah, I had some buddies that were traders during that time frame, and I mean, just the horror stories I was hearing, similar stuff.
Yeah, and it wasn't everybody, but some folks had a tough time with that and did different kind of crazy things. When you lose half your money, that's very emotional, very frightening time.
Yeah,
and that's, people are going to have some pretty strong emotions around that. So, Max, what do you think? If Kevin didn't tell us anything, so say he's approaching retirement, maybe let's say he has a year till retirement, and the stock market's high, and it sounds like what he's thinking is, I'm all in the market, and if I stay this way, am I going to be okay?
Yep, that's what I'm getting to.
So what do you think then, what recommendations, and we can't make specific recommendations, Kevin, over the podcast, we know so little other than like one question, but Max, what kind of considerations, what kind of questions might you ask Kevin if we were able to talk to him?
Well, some basic things is just do a bit of a barometer gauge test. If your portfolio did go through an 07, 08, how would your portfolio perform during that similar time? So
that's a good thing, Max. Something that we do, as you know, of course, is we perform stress tests on portfolios. And I should mention, Kevin, we could get your questions answered and your answers questioned at tuckerretirement.com. So, Kevin, if you go to tuckerretirement.com, you or any podcast listener, just go to tuckerretirement.com. Free to schedule a phone time with us, 15 minutes in the coming week. We'll learn our financial planners. We'll get your financial planning questions answered and your answers questioned. Also, if you're listening to the audio version of the podcast, did you know there's a video version available at tuckeryoutube.com? That's tuckeryoutube.com. So, Max, as you mentioned, we'll perform a stress test when we have folks come see us.
Yep.
Now, we are federally licensed, so we can help folks, Americans all throughout the United States and its territories, both citizens and green card holders. So when we have folks come see us, so sometimes at the office, we're in Chicago, we're near O'Hare International Airport.
Yep.
Chicago address in the suburb of Park Ridge is across the street. When we have folks come see us, sometimes they're just like, listen, I'm done with this. I'm figuring this out myself. I just need you to do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And we make sure that folks that we serve, that they know every step along the way why we're recommending something, the pros and cons of everything. And we do a little bit of education even when they don't want it.
Yeah.
There's a number of people that just, I don't care about the details, just take care of it. And that's really easy to work with. But we also need clients to understand why we're recommending what we're recommending and why we feel it's best for them.
Yeah, it's really important that they have a clear understanding of it. If you're going through an all-time high or an all-time low, you need to understand how you're positioned and how you'll go through that too. So.
it's sort of like, Max, we have folks, as you know, that come to us and say Bob and Mary, and Bob is Mr. Man. And I take care of the investments, and she just takes care of paying the phone bill and going to the grocery store and
making dinner, doing the laundry.
And when we're in public, she walks 3 steps behind me.
Oh my God, old school.
Yeah. So, but we have that a lot, and sometimes it's vice versa. Sometimes it's, and we help same-sex couples too, by the way. Yep. But we have couples typically are male female. That's typical. We help a lot of widows, widowers, unmarrieds, never marrieds, gay couples, lesbian couples, but mostly the couples are usually opposite sex couples. And so it's most common that the gentleman takes care of the investments, but it's not always that way. Maybe it's about a third of the time or so that the wife takes care of it. Mm-hmm. But we really don't want folks checked out. We don't want one spouse checked out, because here's what we have happen all the time, as you know, Max.
Yep.
Mr. Man, it's Bob and Mary again. Mr. Man is like, he just knows everything's going to work out okay, and doesn't think about that in America, an American man has an 80% chance of dying before his wife if it's an opposite sex couple, as we said. So 80% of the time, it's going to be the widow. It's going to be the wife who become a widow, and she's going to have the problems. Bob's not going to have problems. Bob's going to be buried out back in the backyard with the petunias. And Mary's going to be wondering what happened to that other Social Security check.
Yeah.
What happened to that pension check? What happened to why the property taxes are still going up? And hey, why isn't in Cook County, why isn't the senior freeze truly a freeze on property taxes? So we have to plan for the surviving spouse. Now, of course, Max, you know this, 20% of the time it's going to be the man. If it's a husband-wife couple, this can be the man that survives.
Yep.
And so the widower, and we've had that happen where we've been surprised, where we had a couple, unfortunately, years ago. He's still a client, but years ago, his wife retired, and about 1 month later, she passed away.
It's terrible.
And then it's terrible emotionally and everything else. But then on top of that, and they have 2 boys in that. Adults, but 2 boys, and they're always your boys. If they're your boys, they're always your boys. And they have two adult sons, and so she passed away about a month after retirement. I think she was about 65-ish. It's kind of fuzzy now in my memory because it was a few years back. And so he's still a client today, and that, but he lost 1 Social Security check. The property taxes keep going up, and so there's a financial toll too.
Yeah, single filer for taxes.
Oh, I forgot. Too. Yeah. So we usually call it the widow's penalty.
Yep.
Because in America, you have an 80% chance of dying a widow if you're a lady married to a man here in America. So we usually call it the widow's penalty, but in this case, it's not the widow's penalty. It's the widower's penalty.
Yep.
So like Max was saying, what's really surprising to a lot of folks is if you look at the married filing jointly tax brackets, and then you look at the single filer tax brackets, if one spouse leaves the building, as used to say about Elvis, if one spouse leaves the building, the other spouse remains, and their tax brackets change dramatically.
Yeah.
So that's something else. There's so many things.
Yeah.
We lose 1 Social Security check when one person passes away. We can lose as much as an entire pension, if not usually half the pension, but sometimes all the pension. The property taxes can keep going up, even though Crook County, they say they have a senior freeze. Well, not really. And the cost of eggs is, what is that? What are eggs now, Max? They're like $10 a carton, $10 a dozen.
Seems like it, doesn't it?
It's like $1 an egg.
Yep.
I don't know. I heard a gentleman speaker say the other day. He's what's the guy's name? Zach Cass. Now, if you say that name too quickly, Max. If you say Zach Cass too quickly, it sounds like Zach S. Do you know that?
I want to say that.
So I saw a gentleman. It was a financial planning conference about a month or so ago, or 2 months ago. I forget. It runs together. And they said, "Oh, we're gonna have this speaker. His name is Zach Cass." And I have a friend who's a financial planner in South Carolina, and he has a Southern accent.
Oh yeah.
He said, "I can't believe they booked a guy to talk named Zach Ass." No, it's Zach Cass. No, but he said something that was funny about, he was talking about AI. He's one of the guys from OpenAI or something.
Oh, it's cool.
Like one of the founding guys.
Holy cow.
Like he has so much money. I wonder why he even bothers to come talk to us.
Right.
It's like, well,
No, he loves it. That's what he does.
he's probably like 45 though. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I'm 53 this year, and it's kind of the same thing too. People, you get to be 53, Max. People start putting you out to pasture. They're like, when are you going to retire? Like, 15, 20 years.
What am I going to do all day for a time?
Well, even that's another thing, because Kevin was asking us about the risk of the stock market and stuff. I think about some other things, though, kind of shifting gears a little bit. I think about, how do you fill all that time? Now, some people have no trouble filling that time. My mom was a registered nurse at Sparrow Hospital in Lansing, Michigan. Was the bell. And she said, hey, you know what? Love what I do, but it's a lot of work, and I'm on my feet all day, and I see some bad stuff in the operating room. And she had no trouble. She developed other hobbies. She got into oil painting and all this stuff. And cool. for a time, her and a couple friends, they bought a little art gallery. I mean, a little hole-in-the-wall art gallery, and they operated that for, I think it was 3 or 4 of them. They operated that for a few years, and then she said, this retail art gallery stuff, this is interesting. It's only so interesting now. And it's funny, we help people of all different stripes politically. My mom voted for Bernie, and she drives a hybrid. I used to be kind of more colorful when I could say my mom voted for Bernie and she drives a Prius.
Yeah.
But then my mom got this Prius that got to be 21 years old. And then she finally had to get rid of it. Like, it would no longer make sense to repair it or keep it or anything like that.
I heard Priuses are one of the most durable cars out there.
Yeah, Max Pre-I, all right?
Pre-I?
Yeah, Pre-I. So my mom drove this Prius for 21 years, and she only got it up to like 50,000 miles.
Okay.
She only worked like 2 miles from the house.
To work.
And then the art gallery was like 3 miles from the house, something like that. But so I teased her. I said, well, Mom, my mom is she's going to be 79 this year. And I teased her. I said, well, Mom, she lives in Michigan. I said, well, Mom, 21 years, in Michigan, 25 years, 4 more years, you could have got antique plates for it. Because it'd be an antique vehicle there in Michigan.
Antique on a Prius would be good.
That'd be pretty sweet.
That'd be awesome.
Like, what year Prius is that? Is that a classic? And so what's funny, though, is my mom is, she voted for Bernie. She volunteered for Bernie, donates to Bernie. She drives a hybrid. And we have clients. We have one couple, Max, in Park Ridge, where the husband voted for President Trump and the wife voted for Bernie.
Hey, cancel each other votes out,
Those are great meetings, though, because the arguments are just, it's so entertaining. They're a fun couple, so it's just really entertaining. You sit back and let them go at it.
Yeah, I mean, that's really different. All the way to the left, all the way to the right. So
or maybe just populist. I don't know. President Trump's different than what Republicans used to be. Yep. So, well, it's funny. So my mom was operating that art gallery with a couple of her friends, and they're always talking about the business people this and the business people that, and then one day they wake up and they are business people. And so what did they screw up? They screwed up their sales tax filings at the state of Michigan. Gosh. And then we don't have we don't sell goods. We don't have a sales tax to worry about in our financial planning business to the state of Illinois. Pay other taxes, state of Illinois. But what was interesting is that it's kind of one of these quagmires. If you don't know what you're doing, say with state of Michigan with the sales taxes, this is how hard it is. We concern ourselves in Cook County and Chicago and Illinois with how difficult it is to operate a small business in Illinois. We have a lot of folks that are just saying, the heck with that, I'm going to go open my business in Indiana, Tennessee, Florida, getting out of here.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
Yeah. So my mom and her husband also voted for Bernie, but he drives the Lexus Prius.
There you go.
There's some kind of like Lexus version of the Prius. That's what he drives. He got like a year old or something. So
Lexuses are nice. So
Lexi
Prius.
So what's funny is they're always talking bad about the man, and all, or the evil capitalist, and then my mom became an evil capitalist.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, probably clearing a solid $5 a month from the art gallery. Right?
Part of the system.
Yeah, so she was fortunate. They were able to retire she retired when she was 59, and then he retired just a few years later because he was a little bit younger. He is a little bit younger.
Wow.
And but can you imagine the nightmare she found herself in, having like 3 business partners, art gallery? I think it was 3 business partners, art gallery,
income tax problems.
Sales tax.
Sales tax.
They messed up the sales tax. I don't know. I can't remember what it was. They forgot to collect it, or they didn't collect the right amount. Even if you collect it, if you're off by like a penny, They'll just hound you.
Oh my gosh.
It's like that movie. You ever see that movie Better Off Dead?
Better Off Dead.
And they had that guy. They had that paper boy and the newspaper guy.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that.
It was a kid, and this is going back when kids had had paper routes. And they had this kid, and he's chasing people around. He's chasing the guy, one of the characters around the whole time. He's like, "You owe me $2."
Yeah.
And this kid kept showing up. This character just kept showing up everywhere, like stalking this I don't know, teenage kid, like $2, $2.
Trying to get his money.
Yeah.
I was almost the newspaper kid growing up.
I got it.
Really, really wanted to do that job.
Oh,
Wasn't
boy.
able to get it though.
I think it's a hustle. It's a lot. I don't think it's easy.
No,
I never did it.
Getting up at like 3 a.m. or something. So
I had a couple friends. That did it, or one of my good friends in middle school did it. It seemed like a lot of work because then he had to like get on his bike and ride around with that bag and throw the papers here and there and everywhere.
Yep.
And then he had to go back around on the weekend sometime and he had to collect like a bookie.
Yeah,
he had to show up with his little
Where's
receipt.
my money?
Like his little receipt and envelope. Yes, that's I guess the Better Off Dead guy. $2. So I recently at Scott Tucker Solutions Inc. in Chicago, I-90 in Cumberland neck of the woods, just 7-minute Uber ride from Chicago International O'Hare International Airport. If you want to come visit,
Yep.
we have out of
Hop,
state.
skip, and a jump.
We have out of state clients. You can fly right in.
Yeah.
We just had a gentleman recently come see us from Florida.
Yeah, we get a lot of people.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, Naples.
Everybody's from Naples now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not from Waukegan anymore. I'm from Naples or wherever. He wasn't from Waukegan. He was Lake County somewhere. But now he's a Naples, Florida resident. But he came up here to see us. So and we can do Zooms and things too. Just go to tuckerretirement.com, phone call, Zooms. We can do all that. FedEx and DocuSign, all kinds of stuff. But I was saying something or other. So the $2. So recently we got a letter from the they say Internal Revenue Service. I say Eternal Revenue Service, the ERS. Yeah.
It's a better name for it.
So recently at Scott Tucker Solutions Inc., we received a letter from the Eternal Revenue Service. Mm-hmm. And it says like you owe us $18.11.
Okay.
It was something stupid like
it's
that.
Not bad at all.
And I go, don't even, I'm busy. I'm like, I'm not even going to read this letter. I'm just going to send them the $18.
Yeah.
It was something like, it was like, you were off by a nickel and the penalty's 18, whatever it was.
Just grew.
I'm like, you guys already get so much. It's like, here's more.
I'm surprised they had their books balanced that well for you. So.
Well, yeah. I have kind of a thing because we get all these oddball letters from them in strange amounts at odd times of the year and stuff. And our CPA is really sharp.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then it gets to be like, if it were for like $100 or more, I may look into it. If it's $1,000, okay. Hey, get the CPA and I'm gonna send them the email. Here's a PDF of the letter. What's going on?
Yeah.
But then I just figured it's $18.11.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just gonna give them the $18.11.
Talking with the CPA probably would be more anyways, right? So,
well, I want him doing smarter, more productive things. So we do a lot of tax planning for our clients as far as future income taxes on IRA, 401k, 403b, deferred comp, TSP, simple KEO. And I want our CPA doing planning for the business. Like one thing that we have as an employee benefit, we do have a Roth 401k, and then we have a 6% company match.
Yep.
But then there's another thing you can do, and if you're a small business owner, this might be of interest. There's a thing called a cash balance plan. So we do an additional chunk of money per year that helps all the employees and, of course, me as the owner with mitigating our taxes as a company, but also helping better set up all the employees and myself as the owner for retirement. So that's called a cash balance plan. Max, I'm surprised how many CPAs don't even discuss that with their clients.
And they're not getting really paid much to have that kind of conversation. So,
yeah. So I would say the CPA that we use nowadays is rather expensive, but the tax savings are rather good. But yeah, so if you're a small business owner, if you know a small business owner, if they ask yourself or ask your CPA or ask your friend that owns a business if they know anything about a cash balance plan. It's a pretty neat way to get a business tax deduction, but also benefit your employees so that, Max, I think it's important that as a financial planner and owning a financial planning firm, that the financial planners that work here get a financial plan in a retirement. It'd be ironic, Max, if we got to like turn 70 and all we had was Social Security.
Yeah, that would not be good.
Have like that barrel with the suspenders.
Yep.
Although I say we did have a lady come to us for one of our workshops. It was a few years ago, and she's originally from the Philippines, and she came to us with zero money saved after the workshop. And she goes, I'm retiring in 2 weeks, but it's going to be okay because I'm going to just go back to the Philippines. I'm going to get $2,500 a month. Life is good.
All right.
So that's always a thing.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have people come to us with no money, say, well, you know what? There's a better one than that. These are just these idiot fantasies that pop in your head.
Yep.
There's another one. Probably if I had to do that, what I would do is I think I would go to Portugal, because Portugal is one of the there's only a list of like 10 countries that you'd want to live in.
That's what everyone says, Portugal now.
Yeah, Portugal, Costa Rica, Panama, Philippines. Not
Costa
specific
Rica.
advice. What's that?
Costa Rica.
Yeah, Costa Rica.
Rica. What am I saying?
Yeah, Rico Suave. So there's a list of like 10 countries that you'd want to live in, that you could afford to live in just on Social Security.
Yeah.
And live pretty well. I always think that's interesting.
Vietnam maybe too.
Oh, Vietnam. Yeah, there's a lot of places. I don't know if Vietnam is where, I don't know, the humidity. It's not the heat, it's the humidity.
Yeah, it'd be rough.
I think Portugal I could take, because I've been to Portugal one time and it was nice and dry and it wasn't real expensive. People were friendly. They don't speak Spanish, of course. They speak Portuguese. Been in all the papers. But I found the little Portuguese phrases pretty easy to learn. I had the Google Translate in the AirPods.
Portuguese sounds a little weird when you hear it. It's
Well,
like,
you've got to get used to it not being Spanish.
yeah, and
That's
how
the
they
main thing.
pronounce things kind of through their nasal cavity. And
I didn't get that deep
emphasize
into
things.
it.
Yeah.
Now I got to think about that.
Yep.
Well, anyway, Kevin, you're talking about, is it risky to retire when the stock market's high? Kind of is. We want to hedge our bets. So get on our phone calendar at tuckerretirement.com. We're going to do some hedging strategies. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, or what are you doing with put options? If you have a financial planner already, what are they doing with put options? That's just one very basic technique. There are others. Bonds are risky, not safe. In 2022, bonds and stocks and bonds fell together.
Yep. Worst year ever in bond market history.
But just get on our phone calendar at tuckerretirement.com, and we'll get on the horn with you this week, 15 minutes for free with one of our financial planners. Max will get their financial planning questions answered.
And answers question.
And their answers questioned.
Yep.
I will talk to you on the next podcast.